I won't only be in here. I'll be a little bit of everywhere.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for joining me. My name is Jim, and today we're going to talk cool knives. Today we're going to be discussing a brand new QSP model. What I did was I contacted QSP and I said, are you guys willing to send me a knife? They're like, yeah, sure. What do you want? I said, I want the most ridiculously named knife that you can possibly think of. And they said, well, what about Turtle Punk? I'm like, perfect, that's it. It is a name just ludicrous enough for my channel. No, that is not what happened at all. What I did though is I picked out something that I wanted to get and I wanted to share with you guys because I don't often get the chance to bring out super colorful, more playful kind of knives. That's exactly what I went for this time. And yes, I still think the name is quite silly. So, what is the Turtle Punk? I think a lot of what the name is implying is something that you're not really going to be able to see on camera very well because I use diffused lighting, so you're not getting any harsh lighting that's going into little valleys of areas that are milled. And what they've done here is they have taken this multicolored swirl G10 end cut and they have carved almost not quite a rock pattern, but something a little bit similar to that into the scales. So it's got these wonderful geometric cutouts that feel really, really good in the hand. And in person, they show up really nicely. You can see them when you move them in the light. And I think it's really, really cool. So let's hope that when we get down to the tabletop review, that you'll be able to see that a little more clearly than when I did the photography on it. Now, if you're having a hard time today in the market trying to find a knife at a really good price and something that you know is going to be quality and not get ripped off by a scammer, it's getting more and more difficult these days. That's why I want to discuss with you a little something called knifeenthusiast.com. Now, while QSP is well known for offering really great value, great low prices with a good high quality knife, you can't always count on that in the secondary market. So what happens is we're looking for a particular kind of knife. Maybe you want a flipper and it's got to have carbon fiber and it's got to have M390, and you're honing in on that and you can't find anything out there that really gets you excited. So as you start wading through the secondary market, you come across Facebook groups, you come across social media posts, and a few things alarm you. Number one, people are way too in love with the knives that they're trying to sell out of their collection, and they're priced accordingly. And beyond that, when you do see a good price, the first thing you think of is, I'm getting scammed here. There's no way I can get that good of a deal. So you're afraid to send your hard-earned money to somebody, whether it be PayPal or Venmo or Zelle or however you choose to do it, because there's very little security for us when we're purchasing and also when we're selling, because there are people on both sides of it that have figured out how to scam and to run the system in their favor. So what you can do is stop dealing with the fear of being scammed if you're buying or selling, and also you could stop dealing with the tyrannical companies that own the social media platforms that we all like to congregate on. We do a lot of stuff on social media, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. And what happens? Instagram deletes pictures of knives because they think they're weapons. And Facebook does the exact same thing, and they'll even go in and close down your account. I've had that happen to me. So, if you're tired of getting zucked and you want to have normal discussions with other like minded individuals, other people that love EDC items, especially knives, just like you do, then check out knifeenthusiast.com, because it's not only going to be a place where you can buy and sell. And by the way, if you're selling, you could do traditional sales or an auction, but you can also hang out and socialize just like the old days with forums with like-minded individuals as they grow that community outwards. So if you decide that you're going to buy or sell, the great thing is you're getting a secured transaction because the transaction is run through Knife Enthusiast website. So if you're selling a product and you're worried about getting scammed when you get that sent off to the buyer because they're going to turn around and take the money back from you or in some other way scam you, you don't have to worry about it because what happens is they pay the Knife Enthusiast website. Knife Enthusiast then deposits the money directly into your account, thus securing the transaction. That's also going to secure you as a buyer as well. You don't have to worry about laying out your hard-earned money on something that you've been dying to get your hands on because you're going to get your tracking information through knifeenthusiast.com and the transaction will be secured by knifeenthusiast.com. So on both ends, you're covered. And if you're a little bit worried about not getting buyers because you're pricing your knife too high, and that happens a lot, you can always try your luck at an eBay style auction because you can run that there as well. So if you want to do auctions or straight sales, you're covered. If you don't want to do any sales or any purchasing, you just want to hang out with your buddies and talk knives and talk knucks and talk other EDC items, you can hang out there and just participate in the forums. So they're covering you all the way around, giving us what we've been dying for years. And there have been other people that have tried. They've tried creating apps that work sort of like Instagram or sort of like Twitter, and they never took off. We always tried to get them populated, but the popularity wasn't there for those platforms, and the support generally wasn't there. They had glitches from the moment they launched, and a lot of times they never fixed them. Here, you're working on a standard web-based server. You don't have to worry about a glitchy little app. You get to do all the things that you want to do that we do on a daily basis, and we're always worried about getting zucked or getting a nasty private message from an admin going, you can't do that because we're going to get zucked. We're going to get in trouble. None of that exists. So if you've been looking for the place to hang out, that's going to be it. If you're looking for the place to buy and sell in a thriving marketplace, that's going to be a good place for you as well. Now, we're going to go straight back to the video and talk about the knife under my lens.
Turtle, QSP, turtle punk, a funky punk of a turtle. Lots of color, lots of sass, but that clip kinda sucks ass. I got a turtle in my pants. If you're nice to me, I'll take the chance. I'll let you touch it, my precious turtle. Flick that turtle, the sharp tip-toe blade, colorful G10 scales that won't fade, shiny steel liners. Can't you get anything finer for such a small price to pay? I love the turtle shell texture all over the scales, and that stainless steel blade is hard as nails. Thin blade stock, excellent bevel geometry. So if your priority is cutting great quantity, understand the quality. But is the price low? Definitely. They value their customers and their prices reflect high quality, great value with all their respect. I don't often offer G10, but when I do, it needs to be special and of course cool looking, that's true. I want a strong blade and an action that's smooth, so when I say it's a winner, you know it's the truth. Turtle, lots of color, lots of sass, but that clip kinda sucks ass. I got a turtle in my pants. If you're nice to me, I'll take the chance. I'll let you touch it, my precious turtle. Flick that turtle, a sharp toe blade, colorful G10 scales that won't fade, shiny steel liners. Can't you get anything finer for such a small price to pay? I love the turtle shell texture all over the scales, and that's stainless steel.
All right, here we go. The Turtle Punk from QSP. What you're looking at here is a whopping $88 at their full retail, which I think for what you're getting is a pretty darn fair price. Here's all the information on it. Turtle Punk, there is the model number, and this is the Stonewash blade with the colorful G10 handle. Let's get this open, and as always, you'll receive a couple of QSP stickers. It's always nice that they include that. A little bit of free advertising that you're giving them when you stick this on on your toolbox or on the back window of your truck or whatever it is. And then here, they like to give you a card with your main specs. As you see, it's 8 inches overall. Pretty nice. With a handle length or closed length of 4.5 inches with a 3.5 inch blade. So, pretty much the perfect EDC size for most people. Don't worry, I'm going to recap those specs for you in just a few minutes, so you don't have to rewind and try to write stuff down if you're doing that. Let's get the box out of the way and talk about the knife. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, it is chiseled like a rock. I love the way that they've done this because it not only looks really, really cool, but it feels really nice in the hand. So what you've got here is a multicolor swirl G10, and it's the end cut of the big blocks that they have of that G10. So you're seeing these ribbons of color. So I think it looks great, it feels good, and I'm really digging it for the price. For those of you that are not looking to break the bank, you want to go something a little bit inexpensive, but you don't want to feel like you're not getting something cool and special, this is a good way to go. If you want to feel like you're not sacrificing any kind of quality, again, another good way to go. Because this blade is wonderfully ground, wonderfully slicey. Now, they're calling this a tanto. I would definitely call it a modified tanto because it begins its life as a drop point that ends up having more or less an Americanized tanto tip ground into it. I keep thinking of the grip of the handle because I really am caught up with how nice that grip is. The full flat grind, which means full height, they've gone all the way up to the spine of the blade with that flat grind, makes it super slicey and honestly a joy to cut with. Now they've made it just a wee bit pimpy by mirror polishing all of the stainless steel components, which are all the liners, the standoffs, and the pocket clip. And I really dig that. The light just dances across these surfaces. So it's got a little bit of character, a little bit of depth, and a lot of personality all the way through it. So you've got the personality of these really cool colors, and then the sparkling, polished steel areas up against this standard stonewash finish of the blade. The blade, by the way, is 14C, so you've got 14C 28N steel. So it's going to be pretty darn corrosion resistant. It's going to hold a pretty decent edge as well. As far as inexpensive Chinese steels go, this is definitely the preferred one to go with because it does give you pretty darn good performance and you're still able to get into or squeeze into a budget knife. Now, my only real gripe with this knife, and I got a couple of gripes. Let's just be honest. Nothing is perfect. As much as I really dig this knife, it's not perfect. I wish the liners were titanium instead of steel because it's a tad bit heavier than it really needs to be at this size. I would have loved for this to be a little bit lighter. This is around 4.5 ounces or close to it. I would have loved to have seen a full ounce cut off by substituting the steel with titanium for the liners. But my major gripe with this knife is a gripe that I have with a lot of brands. It's not really just this knife. Stop telling these brands to do stupid deep carry pocket clips. There is zero need ever for one. All it does is complicate the draw. When you go to pull it from the pocket, you have nothing to grab onto back here. Let me grab the knife that's in my pocket currently. I have the Reich Tissot in my pocket right now, considerably more expensive. These are about $400. And when I'm grabbing this, I have something for my hand to grab onto here. With this, I don't. Everywhere that I go to grab to extract this from the pocket means I am pinching on the clip, and that makes the grip more tight with the pocket clip. So you end up applying pressure that you don't need to. So QSP and other brands, stop listening to people who say they want deep carry pocket clips. They're idiots. Nobody is extra secretive because their knife sits a 1/16 of an inch lower in their pocket. You know why? Because the world still sees the pocket clip hanging outside of your pocket. And no, nobody is mistaking your knife pocket clip for something innocent like a pen. So stop asking for this crap. Those who carry and use our knives would appreciate it. Okay, my rant is over. And it only bothers me so much because this is a rant that I've made for well over a decade here on my channel. And I don't look at it as the brand's fault, because they're just trying to do what their customers are asking for, what they see people talking about online, going,
"Oh, I wish this had a deep carry pocket clip. I won't buy that knife because it doesn't have a deep carry pocket clip because I'm Agent Secret Squirrel."
No, you're not. For God's sake, stop it. It is so ridiculous. The only benefit I can see to it, and somebody brought this up in the comments section of another video where I ranted about it, and they made a really good point. They're like, well, it's a little bit less likely to get snagged on something and get bent. Like you're backing your butt into your car and it snags your steering wheel, or it snags a desk as you're walking by. I've honestly never seen a deep carry clip that was less susceptible to that than a standard clip. I don't see how it really is. But if it gives that people the illusion of security in that way, I can almost understand wanting that. However, there is no other practical purpose that I have ever come across for having it, so I absolutely despise it. And as you can see from me trying to draw the knife from my pocket, I chose to wear shorts instead of jeans this particular time because it gives you a better sense of how strongly the clip is gripping onto the pocket while you're struggling to pull it out. It's dumb. I can't stand it. But again, I don't fault QSP for it. I fault the people that QSP is listening to. If you're keeping your knife in a display cabinet all the time or in a safe all the time and you're not actually carrying it and using it, then it really shouldn't matter to you. Okay, let's get again into the specs. Full specs on this. You are looking at a liner lock with an overall length of 8 inches. Close length of 4.5 inches. Blade is a 3.5 inch 14C28N with a Rockwell hardness claimed HRC of 59 to 61. That's on the version that has the champagne ceramic coating surface, because that coating is 2 to 3 HRC less than the blade without the coating. So that means that this one here, the Stonewash version, should be a couple ticks harder. It's kind of a nice thing to know. And your weight is 4.45 ounces. Now, for this size knife, since I had this right here next to me as it came out of my pocket, it's a really good comparison size-wise. This being full titanium and this one having steel liners. They're nearly identical. But this has a slimmer blade profile. This has a much wider blade profile. So the weight of the steel liners is certainly applicable here. But again, as I look at it, as I play with it, and as I have carried it over the past few days, I am okay with that. I don't really mind a knife that's 4.5, 5 ounces. Doesn't really bother me all that much. I've certainly carried much heavier knives, but I also own many that are significantly lighter because generally lighter is better because it depends on what you're EDCing. If you're only carrying this one thing, this one knife, and maybe a set of car keys in your pocket, then it's probably not that big of a deal. But if you're carrying a knife and you're carrying let's say another knife, a slip joint in your other pocket, and maybe you're carrying a fixed blade on your belt, and you're carrying a pistol, and you're carrying carabiners and bottle openers and all the pocket vomit that people get into when it comes to the EDC hobby, every ounce is going to count. Now, I'm not quite that bad. Generally I carry 2 knives every day. I have a folder on me and I have a slip joint on me. I always have a Jack Wolf knife slip joint at all times in my pocket. And I will almost always have a flashlight on me. And there are days when I feel like it that I will have a fixed blade, a very small, compact fixed blade on my belt line as well. Always going to have a pistol with an extra magazine. And then, of course, my wallet, my keys, stuff like that. So I don't go overly crazy. I don't really carry pry bars. I have some, but I don't really carry them. I don't carry bottle openers and things like that just because I don't have a particular need for them. I mean, I'm not making fun of anybody that does carry all that stuff. I just don't feel the need to be burdened down with it because there's really no call in my life to need a bottle opener. I really don't drink. I've definitely been a drinker earlier in my life, but at this stage of my life, I don't drink anymore, so I don't need a bottle opener. I don't generally need a pry bar because I'm not doing things that require that. But if I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to more than likely need one, yeah, sure, I'll carry one. I've got a couple that I really like, especially my Vero Engineering Frag pry bar. I just forgot the name of the pry bar. My goodness. Anyway, so every ounce can count for a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different people. So yeah, if you were spending a little more money, let's say you were spending $100, I would have liked to have seen titanium liners. This being well under $100, being $88, I can understand why they made the choice for steel. Now, one thing I have neglected to mention up until this point is the fact that that pocket clip is reversible. And for the opposite side, they have given you a nice filler tab. I would have preferred the filler tab be in the G10 to match. That's just me being ridiculously picky. It may have simply just cost too much money and too high of a waste rate, cutting such a small piece of G10. I don't know. And here, you don't have just an empty, ugly slot with 2 empty, ugly holes. You're able to cover it with that filler tab, screw it back in, and have your clip opposite of that. So, is it a winner? Yeah, I think so. I think it's unique. I think it's cool. I really like how that frame, that grip feels in my hand with those scales. I absolutely love the colors. It's nice to see something that's colorful that isn't a bunch of silly rainbow colors or anything. You know, it's nice, cool colors. You got the orange, you got the red, you got the blue, you got some white in there. I think it looks really good. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Turtle Punk. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as I mentioned earlier on, do visit knifeenthusiast.com if you are looking to join a community of fellow knife lovers and you're looking to buy or sell or auction any knives in or out of your collection. That's going to be a really great alternative for you to do so. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'll see you on the next video.